meeting up an extra half hour. I have a plan examination meeting online with the New York City Department of Buildings, and they don't give you that option. They say meeting today at this time, and you have to be there. So I think everyone's been being able to accommodate the time change. So in this world today, we know everybody knows everything about AI. You can't turn on your TV without some commercial talking about AI. There's AI in your emails. You know, you got Gemini, you got ChatGPT, you got Jasper, you got Microsoft Copilot. Everything is AI, and it's become a situation where now a part of our everyday living, and the goal is to jump on the bandwagon and utilize it to its full extent, or you're literally going to be left behind because everything is now being generated by AI. So for me, I was a little reluctant. I started using ChatGPT about 2 years ago. Prior to that, I was using another program called Jasper AI, which is very in depth, very thorough, and I was using that to create lesson plans. I was teaching part time at a juvenile detention center in the summer. I was teaching them careers in construction, and so I was using that to create my lesson plans, and it was very thorough, very in depth. And the secret with AI really is all about the prompts. You have to tell it what to do. Yes, it's intuitive, it's very intelligent, it can kick out any information, but the more in depth you are with that information, the more details and feedback you're going to get. So if you put in garbage, you'll get back garbage. But if you put in all the information and tell it what to do, it's going to kick back and give you all the information that you need. I have a presentation that I want to go over, and then Gabriel, could you give me permission to share?
You have all the permission. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So let me open up my screen. Here's my presentation. Okay, can everybody see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, so I started using ChatGPT for my business, and it went beyond just give me some blog topics or give me some social media posts, and it's great for that. But I really started using it to training it to understand my business, where my business is at, and where I need to take my business and how to get me there. So it starts to create that roadmap for you. But today, for those, Ashley, how many people here in the group are using AI or using some form of AI, whether it's ChatGPT, Copilot, or Jasper? Okay. All I see is the note takers. Okay, let me see. All right, great. So even if you're using it on the simplest form, that's great, because what it's going to do is really save you time, and it's going to take the guesswork out of the marketing aspect. So the goal is to use its brain to help your business and help elevate your business to the next level. So what can we learn with what we're going to learn today? We're going to learn how to use AI for marketing. It's going to use a user-friendly tool to get started, and then how to create a simple marketing workflow using AI. So AI is artificial intelligence. It helps us to automate tasks, write content, and analyze data. And think of it literally as your digital marketing assistant. You can create blogs, captions, you can do email automation, you can do social media scheduling, SEO and keyword research for your websites. If you want to rank higher on Google, you can go in there and use it to create the SEOs, the research, the keyword research, and then optimize that into your website. And then you can start to rank organically. Now, one of the things, I personally have a Wix website, and Wix has their own AI, which I utilize, but I also use ChatGPT to see if there's any gaps or holes what I need to do to optimize my website. So I used to use Google Ads. I stopped using Google Ads about 2 years ago when I really started harnessing ChatGPT and AI to optimize my website so that I rank organically now. So anybody Googling my business, AC Design and Development, interior designers, architects near me, boom, my website pops up organically in the top 3 searches. So I've really been harnessing how AI can help make my life easier. So why do we use AI in our marketing? It saves us time on repetitive tasks, it boosts content quality, it works on a budget, and it helps you to stay consistent. So if you have a retail store or a storefront, you can write product blurbs and promo emails. If you have a service business, you can do auto replies for appointment requests. And then if you sell products, you can use Instagram captions and SEO descriptions. ChatGPT is free, it's versatile, it's the easiest to use. Jasper AI, which is another great one, is $49 a month, but it's good for blogs. If you're doing ads, it's good for copywriting. And then both programs, you can use it for blogs, posts, social captions, product blurbs. You have Canva, Magic Write. Canva has their own AI. So if you're creating visuals for your social posts, you can use Canva for that. It also does the social visuals, and you can also post from Canva to your social media feed. But you can use their AI prompt to create the content. And basically the way that it works is you go in and you have to tell it again what you wanted to write, what you wanted to do, and it'll create those content for you. If you're doing AI tools, Buffer is a good program to use. It schedules posts automatically. And then you can also use a program called Blaze AI, which I actually use also, which is great because it has its own AI platform. So once you go in and give it your tone, you tell it who you are, what you're trying to do, it'll create 5 weeks worth of social media posts for you, whether you want to post once a day, twice a week, 3 times a week. So these are a few programs that are available that harnesses the power of AI. If you're doing email marketing, MailChimp, which is a free business to use, it also has its own AI service, which is really great because it also creates the content in the post for you. ConverterKit is $9 a month. It's automated, but both programs you can use it for newsletters, promo blasts, and follow-ups. And then chatbots. So Meta, Facebook has auto replies that are free for Facebook and Instagram. You can use AI chat like MiniChat, that's $15 a month for capturing leads. And then also they're all good for instant customer service. Again, the site that I use, which is Wix. Wix has an automatic AI chatbot. So if anybody comes to my website and asks questions, it'll automatically have a conversation with the potential client that's coming onto the website to get information from them. And then it also, what it does, it allows them to schedule appointments with me through the program. And then for SEO, and this is really great because everybody wants to rank higher on Google, and Google's always constantly changing their algorithms, and it's always really hard to keep up with it. So using AI tools, it's automatically adjusting for the algorithms that Google keeps changing. So you can use Uber Suggest, which is free, but it has limitations. You can use Surfer SEO, it's $29 a month, and especially if you're writing blogs every week or every month, it helps to optimize your blogs because Google is a site that it loves words. So the more words that you keep pumping onto your website, the more content that you keep putting in, Google Spiders crawls it every 2 or 3 weeks, and then it pulls out the keywords that it knows people are ranking for your topic, and then that's how it pushes your website up. That's how it pushes your blog up to the top so that you can rank higher. Okay. And then you have free and paid tools. So like I said, ChatGPT is free, MailChimp is free, Canva is free. When you upgrade, you get more benefits from those programs. And then it gives you more. And I'll talk about the difference between the free version of ChatGPT and the paid version. And so we'll talk about if you want to build out your first workflow, you pick what you want to talk about. If you want to start with your social media posts. And that's where I started when I started using ChatGPT. I just focused on just creating the social media posts because I didn't want to keep thinking about what I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to do. So if you're going to, you first identify, okay, what do you want to talk about? Blogs, social media, newsletters. So let's just say social media. Now, I provide architecture and interior design services, kitchen and bath design. I want to focus on, say, kitchen design. I want to boost that portion of my business. So then, second, you choose your tool, ChatGPT. Then you set a schedule where you want to post weekly, daily, every other day, and then you can use Google Sheets or an Excel spreadsheet to fill that information in. Then you go to ChatGPT and you say, write 5 Instagram captions for a home decor brand. So for me, I would say, write 5 Instagram captions for renovating your kitchen on a budget, something like that. Or if you have a product, you say create a promo email for my new candle collection. And then you'll go in and give it descriptions of your candle and it'll start to create those promos. Or if you have a skincare business, you're like, give me blog ideas for my skincare line. And then, but it's not enough to just say, give me blog ideas for my skincare line. You have to tell it what type of skincare line that you have. So, for example, if you say, I'm creating a skincare line for dry, itchy skin, you have to be specific because, again, what you put in is what you get out. If you put in garbage, you'll get back garbage. But the more specific you are with your AI prompts and telling it what to do, the more details you're going to get back. So the key things with AI are the prompts. You tell it who you are, you tell it what you want it to do, who you are, what your product is, why you want to pump this out, and then you can also then go back and say, ask me 5 relevant questions that will allow you to get the best, provide me with the best information. And the way I use I literally talk to it like it's a person. And I had tell a story. I was pumping in some information and I was getting a little frustrated because it wasn't giving me the answers that I was getting. And I was literally typing like, I don't understand why you can't get this to me. You said that you could, but you can't. Why you're not doing this? This is getting really frustrated and you're wasting my time. And it was so polite in its response. Yes, Aisha. And it said, yes, Aisha, I apologize. I did promise you I can do this. I'm sorry that I can't. And it kind of scared me a bit because I'm like, wait a minute. I'm talking to a computer, but it's talking back to me like a person. A person. So that's how you use AI. You talk to it like it's a person sitting right in front of you, and you take advantage of its knowledge and skill set to help you build your business. Okay. So anything you do with AI, always proofread everything that it gives you because it does make mistakes. And it'll give you a disclaimer at the bottom. You know, we can have the tendency to make mistakes. Keep your brand voice. If you know that you write in a particular way, if you speak in a particular way, you can, with the paid version of ChatGPT, you can upload samples of your writing and it will mimic that. You can record your voice and say, this is how I speak, this is how I talk to my client. I want my content to be reflective of my language. And it will generate content reflective of how you speak and how you communicate. Don't do copy and paste without editing. ChatGPT has a tendency to give you all these little cute emojis, and they're really cute, but depending on the type of content that you're putting out and where you're putting out, it's not professional, especially if you're trying to post something on LinkedIn. And also the other things that people know when you're using AI because of all the emoji. It's a telltale sign that you're using a ChatGPT prompt. So ideally, you can, if it gives you feedback with the emojis, you just go back in and say, rewrite this and remove all the emojis, and they'll just give you a clean copy. And then again, don't rely blindly on AI because, again, it does tend to make mistakes. Now, it does cite its sources, and you can always go in and check those sources to see if they're relevant to what you're asking. AI is constantly evolving. So because that it can tend to make mistakes. So we can't look at it as the holy grail or the gospel that it's everything that's going to kick out is always going to be correct because it can be incorrect. So always go back and just double check what it's doing. You can even go back and say, cite your sources, give me footnotes, where you pulling this from, show me codes or references so that you can always go back and double check. for yourself. And then once you feel confident, like, okay, it's giving me the right information, you can kick it out. Now, that's if you're really being really in depth with your social media. Like for me, I'll use it to do zoning calculations for my projects. And I did my first one and I told it to give me all the code references. I went back and double checked. And it's like, okay, it did it correctly. So if you're doing something really technical, you definitely want to double check and check the sources. If it's something where you're just creating a social media blog or you're creating a newsletter, you can just double check, read it, make sure that it makes sense, and make sure that it's written in your tone. Start with one tool, be consistent, and check your results and refine it as you go along. So when you're writing a prompt, and this is like the meat and potatoes of it, you always got to tell it what to do. So you'll say act as a social media content expert. Always use the word expert because you want to get the best out of it. For who's your audience? My for my so I would say act as a social media content expert for homeowners to create an a blog about kitchen design on a budget in a casual and formal style, or casual and relatable. So this is the prompt is the most important thing because this is what tells AI what to do. And this is where you get the most information from AI. If you just go in and just say, just write a blog about kitchen design on a budget, it's going to give you everything from everywhere. But if I say, act as a content creator expert for homeowners to create a blog about kitchen design on a budget in a casual and relatable style for and now you can say in the New York City area, and then it's going to pull relevant information pertaining to that region that I want it to focus on. Because kitchen design on the budget in California, Texas, Oklahoma is different from New York. So it's now going to pull relevant information for the New York area to give me price points and ideas of what it pulls from the internet and from everywhere else and other sources that's talking about kitchen design on a budget in the New York City area. So it says this formula helps guide AI to create better, more relevant content and use it to specify tone, purpose, and target. And those are the key three things when it comes to AI to get the most out of it. Then what you can also do to take it an extra step, once it kicks out the information, once you put in this prompt, you go back and say, ask me 5, 6, or 10 relevant questions that pertains to my topic so that you can give me the best information. And it will kick that out for you. When you're doing your social media posts, you'll say, write 5 Instagram captions for a wellness coach promoting self-care. And you can take that a little bit further and say, write 5 Instagram captions for a wellness coach located in Florida promoting self-care for women over the age of 50. Then it's going to pull all that information and give you captions that's relevant for that region that you live in and for women that are over the age of 50. You can say, create 3 captions for a weekend flash sale at a boutique with emojis. But then what you want to do is go in and give it a little bit more details. What type of boutique? Where's the boutique located? What type of flash sale are you having? Is it a particular product? So the more you give it, the more it gives you back, and the more relevant the content that it gives you back. When you're writing email marketing prompts, you can say, write a welcome email to new subscribers to a handmade soap brand. And it will then come back and say, it'll give you that prompt. Okay, welcome new subscribers. Here's a 10% coupon, so on and so forth. Or you might say, write a Valentine's Day promo email for a bakery. Now, you can go into more detail and say what type of a promo you want it to have. You can tell it what type, if you're making special Valentine's Day cookies. So the more detail you give it, the more it's going to give you back. So blog and website content prompts, you can say generate 5 blog titles for a travel agency targeting honeymooners. You can say write a 300-word intro for a pet grooming service in Brooklyn. So the more again, the more detail you give it, the more it gives back. So if you do for SEO and keyword prompts, you can say list 10 keywords for a cleaning company in Atlanta. Again, you gotta tell it where you're at. You're in Atlanta. So now it's gonna be pulling information for that region to give you 10 keywords that's gonna be relevant to your website. Or write a meta description for a blog titled 5 Tips to Declutter Fast. Okay. So chatbots and auto reply prompts, you can tell it to write a chatbot greeting for a lash salon booking page. You can tell it to create 3 FAQ responses for an online candle store. So basically, you can tell it to do everything. So things that you would normally take the time to do for your marketing business or to market your business, you use ChatGPT or any AI program to take the guesswork out of the marketing and anything that comes into your brain that you want to think about to market your business, you go straight to the chat GPT or Jasper AI or Gemini and you just give it the prompts and tell it what you want it to do and it will give you back that feedback.